INDIANA, that's Indiana. Ballin' like Reggie Miller, that's Indiana. I put on for my state, that's Indiana. Watch me rep it in your face, that's Indiana. That's Indiana, that's Indiana.
Hi, I'm Matt from Ludovox, and we are at GenCon Day 2. And we are with Jake Clancy, the designer of Cosmic Pioneers. Hi, Jake.
Hello.
How are you? How is the show so far for you?
It's pretty crazy, the scale of this place. I mean, you know, it's like, 60,000 people were here yesterday. It's 4 football fields in size. It's really, it's, I never thought I'd be at something like this, but I'm liking it a lot.
So it's your first?
Yeah, it's my first convention, or at least board game sort of, I guess, nerd culture convention like this.
So you're the designer for Cosmic Pioneers, we've said that, but how many people can play this game?
It's a game for 2 to 4 players, best with 3 or 4, and its ages on the box are 13 plus, but I've played it with my 9-year-old sister before, and she got the game, so I think it's printed on the box because there's pieces you can eat or something. But yeah, you can play it with kids. You can also play with grown-up, like adults too. I've play tested it mainly with my friends who are sort of my age. I'm 22. So yeah, it's really it's simple enough for new gamers to grasp as well. So that's sort of the demographic, is it's straddling sort of the boundary between a sort of hardcore game and like a light game. And it takes about 45 minutes to play a game of this, although maybe an hour the first time you play as you're sort of understanding the rules.
Okay, so what do we do? What is the object of the game? It is a space game, obviously. So tell us about it.
So basically, in Cosmic Pioneers, when you first take the game out of the box, as you can see, it's a built of hexagons. So first thing you do is you generate the system that you're colonizing in the game. The goal is to put your colonists down on these planets. So the first thing you do is you draw a scenario card. There are 10 different scenario cards in the game, each of which add a unique set of rules to the game. For example, this one's a trading scenario that I have set up, in which you're ferrying these trade goods from one end of the system to the other for victory points. These scenario cards also dictate the hexagons that you're going to get out of the box in order to set up the board. So that's the first thing that you do. Players then, moving their playing pieces, which are their spaceships, around, they start at this jump gate, sort of like a home base for all the players. The basic flow of the game is you go out from the jump gate, you put your people down on the planets, and then you get some money from exploring the planets, and then maybe you fly back to the jump gate, get some income from the planets you've settled, and then use that to upgrade your different attributes on your ship, pick up more people, and go back and do it again. This starts to get shaken up in the game after the first round. It's played over the course of 12 rounds by the surfacing of aliens to sort of fight all of the players. So you flip over one of these alien cards. There's a different alien for every color of planet. There are 5 in the game, but you're never going to use, or I shouldn't say never. I think there's like one possible permutation to use all of them, but you're rarely going to be using all of the aliens in a single match, which adds to the replayability. There are 5 different alien types, each of which do a different thing. So the first time an alien card comes up, you're going to place an alien in all planets of that color. And then the second time it comes up, they're going to perform their action. So some of the aliens, like the slimes on the green planets, are fairly benign. They just double in number, but they never displace colonists that are already on the board. While some are more dangerous, like the sandworms, which will eat colonists from planets. But if there's nothing for them to eat, they'll burrow and go away, and they sort of take care of themselves after a little while. So yeah, the essential flow of the game, you go out, you colonize some planets, you come back, get more people, you try to defend your colonies from other players and from the aliens that are native to those planets, and you upgrade your ship. And it's sort of, I guess, the main selling point of the game is it's highly variable. All the hexagons, there are 25 in the game, use 11 in each match. They're all unique in the sort of rewards matrix that's on them. When you visit a planet, you roll a die, and there's a result, and you sort of get that thing happens. So, for example, on this planet, Byzantium, If you roll a 2 to 3, one of the colonists from the planet dies. 3 to 4, colonist appears on a planet of your color. 5 to 6, 4 colonists of your color appear on the planet. That's just one example.
So the game ends after 12 rounds, and the player who wins is the one who has placed the most colonists, right?
Yep, but it's not just sheer number. The big points in the game come from reaching majority on specific planets. So, for example, that's true. You do get 1 point for every colonist you have out. I'll make one possible outcome in the game. Say red player has this, and the green player has this. So in this example, oh wait, I already placed green. Sorry, one sec. The green player has blue player has this. So in this example, blue has 3 points because they have three colonists out. Green has 3 points because they have 3 colonists out. That's the simple stuff. Yellow has 2 points because they have 2 colonists out. Red has 3 points. But then, because all of the green spaces are on this planet are covered, this planet is considered settled. And because red has the majority of the colonists on that planet, they control this planet. And that gives them an extra 5 points. So in this case, even though red has the same number of colonists out as blue and green, because they have the majority of colonists on a settled world, they get 5 points. So that's really the key to winning this game, is sort of balancing your colonists on specific planets in order to control them. So it's about finding an area of the board that you can kind of dominate rather than just sprinkling your people everywhere.
So you mentioned scenarios. So you have trade post, which probably sets up the trade post here. What are the types of scenarios that we have? How do they influence the game?
So one type of scenario is just a sort of intro scenario in which it gives every player sort of a bonus. Like one of them makes everyone have some extra money. Another one gives people free upgrades at the beginning. Those are sort of beginner scenarios that make the game less challenging to like new players and like have a faster start. There's also some like combat focused scenarios that sort of incentivize fighting other players more. And there's also some scenarios that increase the number of aliens around, so make it more dangerous for all of the players. There's 10 of them, and yeah, those are just some examples, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Jake. How did you come up with the idea of the game?
So a year ago, this game didn't look like this. It was some index cards in a drawer in my house with some 3D printed cubes that I made at my local university. Just sort of ugly, rudimentary prototype components. In Halifax, Nova Scotia, where I come from, there's a community of gamers at a board game cafe called The Boardroom. So I brought out my prototype and someone... Konstantinos Manos, who runs a company called Vesuvius Media, he saw the potential the game had, and he sort of produced this game and commissioned artwork for it. If I'd drawn it, it would be stick figures. It would not look nice. And sort of, helped me make it into the game it is now, sort of finished product. So yeah, it's been a crazy year, especially culminating in being here at GenCon. That's the story of this game and how it came to be.
So, how did you decide to create a game, to design a game?
Yeah, I've been designing games sort of just on my own for me and my friends and family since I was 16. I have a lot of other games that are sort of at that cube index card phase. I don't know, it's just sort of something that I really like board games and like games in general. And so it's sort of a logical step once you start playing games, I think, to start making them, because you start seeing things that you'd wish could be combined together, and you wish you imagine the game that you wish you could play, and then I guess you make it, because it doesn't exist yet.
So what are your favorite board games?
I actually really like a sort of unknown game by Asmati Games, Innovation. It's a really ugly-looking game, to be honest, although they're making a very nice copy of it soon. With sort of updated graphics. It's a civilization building game where you have a series of technology cards, and you sort of play them to create a sort of like civilization going from like the Stone Ages to modern times. And it's a really deep game in terms of the strategies you can do in it. It's really fun.
We have it in France, actually. They brought it up. A big company, Yellow, brought it up in France, so we have it.
Yeah. There's several versions out there now, I think. I'm just waiting for the deluxe edition to come to Canada.
And there is an expansion, Echoes.
Yeah, Echoes and then Figures in the Sand, I think. I have both of them. And there's also an online version that I play a lot too with my friends. Anyway, I'd love to make a game like that one day, like a Civilization game with that sort of like deep mechanics of like sort of engine building. I mean, I've been working on something like that, but it's not quite at the stage where I'd show it to anybody yet.
Thank you very much, Jake. Bye-bye and see you on Ludovox.
INDIANA, that's Indiana. Ballin' like Reggie Miller, that's Indiana.